I would be discussing a few things about law and governance. So here, we would discuss basic concepts, history, general classifications, and forms of law. But first, let us describe what is the law? Ano nga bang ibig sabihin ng law? So the law, in its general sense, is that set of rules laid down by the state which must be observed by everyone. So take note, when we say the law, it is created by the state. Of course, by people in the state, but it is basically created by officials of the state. And the law is supposed to be observed by everyone. This means that no one is exempt from observing the law. So, regardless of your social status, regardless of your age, regardless of your gender, you are supposed to follow the law. So, the law governs the relations between the state and its people, the relations among people, and the relations among the state. So tatlo po yun. The law governs the relations between the state, the one implementing the law, and its people, kung sino po yung nasasakupan nila. So it's citizens. And then the relations among the people. So the law also provides what conduct ang dapat po nating ginagawa o ipinakikita sa bawat isa, sa bawat isang kapwa natin na namumuhay dito po sa ating bansa. And the relations among the states. Um, there are what we call international laws, and these are laws observed by the different states. And our own laws, our own set of laws, are also provided in order for us to determine how we go about decisions that we make when we are dealing with other states, whether ang pinag-uusapan po ay importation and exportation of goods, kung ito ay tungkol sa giyera, at kung ano-ano pa pong relationship natin with other states. Even yung pagtutour, so we have set of rules for that, set laws. Okay, so the law establishes the rights and obligations of the people who are governed by it. So when we say rights, ito po yung mga karapatan na ibinibigay sa bawat isa sa atin na pwede nating i-invoke at ipakita sa mga nagpapatupad ng batas. Nataglay natin ito. And obligations. Pag sinabi naman pong obligation, these are the things that we are supposed to do while living or sojourning here in our country. So as well as the studies of the state and the government to the people. So of course, the state has certain duties to us. They are in charge of, well, basically taking care of us, taking care of our welfare. So sila po yung mga nagdidesisyon kung ano ba yung tingin nilang makabubuti sa mga nasasakupan nila, tayo, ng mga citizens ng bansa. So the law also lays down the remedies that a person can avail of if his rights are violated. Because, people have different personalities. We were brought up differently. So definitely we will be acting differently from each other. And then there are certain times that the rights, even though it is provided by law, kahit na po nasa constitution na natin ito, pinapikita o ini-state nila kung ano yung mga rights na taglay ng bawat isa sa atin, there are times that these rights aren't given to us. So, it is also the state, it is also the law that provides for the remedies. Ano ba yung mga remedyo na pwedeng maibigay sa atin o ano yung mga remedyong pwede nating makuha mula sa gobyerno kapag itong mga karapatan natin ay na-violate. So, there are criminal laws, there are civil laws, there are criminal liabilities and civil liabilities, which we will be talking later on pa. So the law further prescribes the procedures which a person must observe when enforcing his rights, and which the state must likewise follow in taking any action against a person. So, hindi rin pwedeng kumilos sa kahit anong paraang gusto ng government or ng state. Yung mga law enforcers nila, there are certain procedures that are to be followed, that are to be implemented. So for example, arrest, seizure of your property. So it is provided in the Philippine Constitution that we have the right to liberty, the right to property. Ibig sabihin, Kung wala naman tayong nalalabag na batas, dapat malaya tayo. At kung wala rin naman tayong nalalabag na batas, may karapatan tayong magmay-ari ng isang bagay. So, kapag tayo ay, sabihin na natin, ninakawan, someone took a certain property we own. So, the law provides how that case would be resolved. Papaano ba ang arrest? Papaano ba ang search and seizure kung meron na tayong suspect and so on. Okay. Then, once the law has been laid down, it is implemented by the government, an instrument through which the state acts. Everyone is expected to know what the law is because it prescribes what can and cannot be done and the consequences if the law is not observed. That is why meron pong kasabihan na ignorance of the law excuses no one. This means that we cannot say na, sir, hindi ko po kasi alam na bawal pala tong ginawa ko. For example, I assume hindi naman lahat sa atin nabasa na ang revised penal code. Uh, so kung ikaw, in the revised penal code, nakalagay doon yung crime of murder, the crime of robbery, theft, estafa, and so on. So, hindi mo pwedeng sabihin na, sir, hindi ko naman po kasi alam na bawal pumatay. Hindi ko pa po kasi nabasa yung revised penal code. So, you cannot use that as a defense because you are expected to know what the law is. You cannot use that as a defense na hindi mo pa kasi nabasa yung batas. Okay? And, well, technically, before a law is implemented, uh, it should be first be published in the official gazette of the Philippines and in a general circulation. So, dapat mai-publish muna siya doon nga sa official gazette at saka sa dyaryo. And then, hindi naman pagka-publish today, implemented na rin siya today. So, it would only be implemented or applied after 15 days. Okay? So, that's the usual time before a certain law is um, implemented. So, we really do not have any excuse to say, hindi ko po kasi nabasa, hindi ko naman po alam, bawal pala yun. You cannot say that today. Kasi before it is implemented, yun na nga, pinapublish muna siya. And, you know, access to information is very easy nowadays dahil may internet na. So, and it is not, yun nga, implemented outright. There is still a 15-day time before, again, the law is implemented. So generally, a law is prescribed to govern future conduct. When the law has a prospective application, this means that it will only apply to future actions. A law generally cannot have a retroactive effect. That is, the law should not apply to past actions because the people then could not have known about the rule yet to be established. So this is how this prospective and retroactive application is discussed. So when we say prospective, if a law is implemented, or rather, if a law has been enacted today, its only application is from today until or up to the future, or in the future rather. Hindi natin ito pwedeng i-apply sa mga nangyari sa nakaraan. Yung pag-apply sa nakaraan, yun yung sinasabing retroactive. So the law does not have a retroactive effect. Maliban na lang, well, the only exemption is when the law would be favorable to the accused. Kung mas makikinabang yung accused, for example, sabi sa batas, bababa ang sentensya. Eh dahil nasintensyahan na siya before, tas ngayon pa lang yung batas, itong batas na to pwedeng i-apply doon sa kanya kasi mas makikinabang siya. Pero sabihin natin yung batas ay bibigat o yung punishment ay bibigat. So from sabihin natin 15 years lang ang pagkakakulong, magiging 20 years na. So it would not have a retroactive effect doon sa accused or doon sa convict because it would not be favorable to him. Okay, so it is the general rule na lagi lang prospective from the present until the future. Well, because hindi naman alam nung akusado na magiging bawal ang isang action. So, let's have an example. If you are uh, familiar with Dr. Hayden Ko and Katrina Halili, they had a scandal. They had a sex scandal back in 2009. Dr. Hayden Ko was actually filming their sexual intercourse without Katrina knowing. So, illegal. Kasi hindi nga alam. Well, sorry. Hindi pa talaga siya illegal that time because that was 2009. After their case, it was only in 2012 na nagkaroon ng anti-cybercrime law, yung Republic Act 10175. At hindi pwedeng i-apply yung RA 10175 doon sa case nila because hindi pa 2012 pa nga lang siya nag-take effect, di ba? 2009 pa yung act. Ayun. Another one is if you are familiar with the I love you virus or the love bug, it was a virus created by a computer or IT related course na student, and it was used to uh, hack a certain server para makakuha siya ng free internet kung tama ang recollection ko. And then during that time, sorry, it was to gain, well, he implemented he created the virus in order for him to get passwords. So yon, yung I love you virus, nung nahuli siya, pero hindi naman siya pwedeng ikulong. Kasi wala pang ang batas na nalalabag yon nung time na ginawa niya yon. Okay, so yun. Hindi pwedeng mag-take effect yung RA 10175 na yon doon sa estudyante na yon dahil ngayon pa lang kasi walang retroactive effect ang ating mga batas. So therefore, the characteristics of law are it is a rule of human conduct. It is prescribed by competent authority, and specifically, ang gumagawa ng batas ay yung mga nasa Congress. They are part of the legislative branch of the government, which is responsible for making laws in our country. So the law passes through several readings doon sa lower and upper house. Although ayaw nilang tinatawag na lower house or upper house kasi kung lower house daw it feels inferior. They feel inferior. So hindi daw siya ginagamit na term. Well, ayun. And then it is obligatory. Ito nga, ang ibig sabihin nito, we are obligated, we are obliged to follow the law. There are no excuses, there are no preferences kung kanino lang ia-apply ang mga batas. Everyone are obliged to follow the law. And then, ayun na nga, it is to be observed by everyone.